Okay, here's Nerimon's chapter 12.
Let's get crack-a-lacking on that. I don't know if you remember, probably not because it was boring. Jacob and his dad have gone to Bella's house for the evening. That was the exciting cliffhanger that we left it on. The main point of this is that Jacob is asking Bella about Edward, but there's a subplot in which Bella is making a sandwich, and quite a lot of the chapter is dedicated to that. The grilled cheese sandwiches were in the frying pan, and I was slicing up a tomato when I sensed Jacob behind me. I stared down at the pan, pulling up the edge of a sandwich to check the bottom side. Jacob says, "I didn't recognise who the driver of your car was," and Bella nodded non-committally. First of all, not sure if that's a word. Secondly, not sure how that happens. You nod. Non-committal nod. I nodded non-committally, keeping my eyes down as I flipped the sandwiches. "Jacob, could you hand me some plates? They're in the cupboard over the sink." "Sure." He got the plates in silence. "So who was it?" he asked, setting 2 plates on the counter next to me. They watched the game together, and then Jacob and his dad leave. I don't know what happened to the sandwiches in the end. That's a subplot that will be left dangling. Hopefully they'll deal with that in New Moon. Which I'm not going to read, by the way. A lot of people are saying, "You've got to do New Moon afterwards." No. That would be milking it, wouldn't it? I slept better that night. The evening with Billy and Jacob seemed harmless now. I decided to forget it completely. Good, so I'm glad that was completely unimportant and that you made us read it all before you decided that. I'm happy to forget it completely as well, so let's just carry on. I caught myself whistling while I was pulling the front part of my hair back into a barrette, and later again as I skipped down the stairs. Shit! Don't be too happy, will you? How do you catch yourself whistling? Is it... Oh my god! And then she burst into song. "Oh, what a beautiful morning." I don't know why Bella sounds like a baritone man. Edward was waiting outside in his shiny... Catch yourself whistling? Is it... Oh my god! And then she burst into song. "Oh, what a beautiful morning." I don't know why Bella sounds like a baritone man. Edward was waiting outside in his shiny car. I didn't hesitate, climbing in the passenger side quickly. He grinned his crooked smile at me. Since when did he have a crooked smile? I've read 11 chapters and not once did she mention he had a crooked smile. This is a crooked smile right there. He grinned his crooked smile at me, stopping my breath and heart. Definitely not. I couldn't imagine how an angel could be any more glorious. There was nothing about him that could be improved upon. Oh god, this is so disgusting. I tried to keep my eyes away from his perfection as much as possible, but each time his beauty pierced me through with sadness. Oh. When they're at lunch, Edward says, "Oh, I shouldn't have given you a ride today because I'm leaving early, so you're going to have to make your own way home." She goes, "Oh, that's alright, it's not that far of a walk." And then he frowns and says, "I'm not going to make you walk home. We'll go and get your truck and we'll leave it here for you." She goes, "Well, I don't have my truck key with me, it's in my house. I really don't mind walking." He shook his head. "Your truck will be here and the key will be in the ignition." So that's creepy. Isn't there a line between being impressive to a girl and just being really creepy? Being impressive is like if you buy a girl a book and she says, "Oh, what's my favourite book? How did you know?" He says, "Oh, you mentioned it last week." "Oh, you listened. Oh, you're so sweet." But breaking into their house and getting their car keys and then driving their car there and leaving it there for them and saying, "Here's your car," is just not... That's not how to charm a girl. So don't get love advice from this book, is my point. People are predictable, but you never do what I expect. You always take me by surprise. She whistled this morning. She should tell him about that. That was unpredictable. Alice was suddenly standing behind Edward's shoulder, her short, inky hair in a halo of spiky disarray around her exquisite elfin face. Her slight frame was willowy, graceful, even in absolute stillness. Too many words. "I'll be there in the morning," he promised, smiling his crooked smile. You know that famous Edward Cullen crooked smile? When the school day had finally ended, I walked to the parking lot. I didn't especially want to walk home, but I couldn't see how he would have retrieved my truck. There it was, sat in the same space he'd parked his Volvo in the morning. I shook my head as I opened the unlocked door and saw the key in the ignition. She just seems to be impressed, which really annoys me. There was a piece of white paper folded on my seat. I got in and closed the door before I unfolded it. 2 words were written in his elegant script. "Be safe." I knew I was far too stressed to sleep, so I did something I'd never done before. I deliberately took unnecessary cold medicine. I woke early, having slept soundly and dreamlessly thanks to my gratuitous drug use. So what's happened is that he's taken her to this really, really lovely meadow where they can hear the bubbling music of a stream, and there are wildflowers, and the sun was overhead, filling the circle with a haze of buttery light. Edward is going to demonstrate today the enigma of him and the sun, and what happens when he stands in the sun. So the chapter ends with Edward seemed to take a deep breath, and then he stepped out into the sun. And that's the end of the chapter. I don't know about you, but I am so excited to read the next bit of the book. I actually just started reading the next chapter. The first line of chapter 13 is, "Edward in the sunlight was shocking." Well, there you go, cliffhanger for you.
That's like the beginning of a tabloid.
What is? Edward in the sunlight was shocking. Rich pickings for spring chickens. Oh my god. What the fuck is that? Hi Hattie.
Hi, this is a very Aldrich quote. This blog.
Do you want to explain?
That was funny. The roasting that was the best. Alright, YouTube. Peace out.